It has to be you next. There's no one else. It's one of the biggest fights the UFC can do. You versus Ilya, if he wins, and I think he's gonna win, it's a gigantic fight.
Can you imagine me versus Ilya on the White House? Everybody gonna talk about that fight.
White House, no White House.
Yeah.
Who cares? Put it anywhere. Put it in Madrid.
Yeah, great fight. Because we are both young, on our prime. Like 50% gonna think I'm gonna win, 50% gonna think Ilya gonna win, and it's gonna be like a massive fight.
I have enough money to buy it, so I don't need to be an ambassador, so I don't need for gift for them, so I can go to the store and buy as much as it costs, you know. So thank you, Arab, as well.
Armin back here. Before RAF6, at the pre-match press conference, I asked you about some comments Ilya Topuria made, saying that you would panic in a fight with him, and you said, let me beat the bodybuilder, and that'll answer that question. Now you beat him twice. Can we get that response? Can we get the answer to what Ilya Topuria had to say about you?
So he has a coming up fight, and now he's saying, yeah, if UFC tell me fight Arman, I'll take it. But he has a fight coming up. I'm a backup for that fight. I'm gonna be ready if something happens. I'll take that chance and jump in, and I'm gonna stay active. Maybe I'll do RAF next month or maybe in the May. So we'll see when it's Kobe Covington is ready, when he's gonna be done with his drinking beer and lay down on the beach and do extra exercises during the night. So
I'm doing what real American patriots would do, drinking real American beer. Hey, if you want to become 200% American, Armin, you need a real American beer zero.
Yeah, bro.
This isn't going to affect your cardio, bro.
Bro, you have already stomach. There is no six packs anymore, bro. Like,
hey, bro,
you gotta get, you know, I'm not Dylan Dennis, first of all. I'm a legit wrestler,
hey,
so you gotta keep training.
I'm not a bodybuilder influencer. I'm a legit wrestler and a 4-time challenger in the UFC.
Yes, you are, but if you're gonna like keep doing that same thing, you're gonna lose me. But
no,
so I'm saying I wanna have like a real.
Fight fans, we're witnessing something absolutely explosive in the lightweight division right now, and Arman Tsarukyan just made an announcement that's going to completely transform the entire landscape. He's officially confirmed that the UFC has designated him as the backup fighter for the massive Justin Gaethje versus Ilya Topuria showdown that has everyone buzzing. This isn't some wishful thinking or hopeful positioning from a fighter trying to stay relevant. This is Arman being officially locked and loaded, prepared to jump in at a moment's notice if anything derails this epic clash. Picture the absolute pandemonium and electric energy if Tsarukyan gets that emergency call and needs to immediately travel to wherever this war is scheduled to unfold. This situation transcends just another fight opportunity. It represents Arman's undeniable pathway to championship gold, a journey that now hinges entirely on his readiness for whatever unexpected twists the UFC throws into the mix. We're looking at a competitor who might legitimately be battling for the title belt much sooner than anyone in the combat sports universe anticipated, and that's precisely what makes this development so monumentally important.
A question, so yeah, I'm ready for Ilya no matter when. But like I know UFC has a different plans for me, so after White House they're gonna announce who I'm gonna fight next.
We talked about what's going on next for me.
So you did speak, but just not there?
Yeah.
Okay, how did that go?
Good. I'm gonna be like I'm gonna train to be in shape. If something happened in main event in White House, I'll be back up, so I'll fight there. And then they announced my next fight after when Ilya versus Gaethje, when they fight. After that, they announced my next fight.
Now let's examine this fascinating glimpse into Arman's relationship with UFC leadership, because what he reveals here is absolutely captivating when you dissect the details. He confidently declares that he'll most likely face whoever emerges victorious from Gaethje versus Topuria, which perfectly aligns with his current ranking and impressive recent showings. But then he tantalizingly alludes to various scenarios that could potentially develop, and immediately after dropping that hint, he delivers a carefully worded, almost rehearsed response stating he cannot reveal what those scenarios entail. This isn't simply a fighter playing coy with journalists or manufacturing drama for social media engagement. This actually indicates that the UFC has developed some quite elaborate strategies for him operating behind closed doors, possibly extending far beyond the straightforward title eliminator bout we'd all naturally expect. Could this suggest there's a potential express lane to another major opponent if Gaethje or Topuria find themselves sidelined for extended periods due to injuries or unforeseen circumstances? The mystery and intrigue surrounding these undisclosed scenarios he references only intensifies the speculation about Arman's immediate trajectory and solidifies his pivotal position in determining how the lightweight division's upcoming narrative will develop.
Is it fair to assume you're fighting the winner of that fight?
Most likely.
Okay, so are you okay with that?
There is a couple different things that can happen.
Oh, really? Like what? Could you tell us?
No, because they told me I cannot tell what
Okay, no, it's okay.
But can be good.
Okay.
Should be good.
I saw you at the event. You had the handcuffs on.
The fighter makes it absolutely transparent in this discussion that while he genuinely loves his wrestling competitions for the pure joy of competing, the financial benefits they provide, and to maintain his competitive sharpness without absorbing the brutal punishment that comes with mixed martial arts, the UFC remains his ultimate priority and unwavering focus. This represents essential insight for supporters who might question his dedication level, particularly with a potential championship opportunity appearing on the horizon in the coming months. He's avoiding facial trauma, he's not enduring extreme weight cuts for these wrestling competitions, and he's maintaining his competitive instincts at peak levels through continuous competition. This calculated methodology ensures he remains physically healthy and mentally driven for the ultra-high-stakes universe of mixed martial arts, where a single misstep can destroy everything he's worked toward. He's demonstrating the mindset of a calculated professional who genuinely comprehends how to optimize his career management outside the octagon, all while maintaining his vision firmly concentrated on that UFC lightweight championship gold that he's been pursuing relentlessly for years.
My main thing is UFC, and it's just side quest, and I just make money, have fun, you know, because wrestling, you don't get hurt and you don't get punched. So it's just go there, make have fun, make money, and travel around the US, you know. It's so fun, good show, and it's easy for my mentality too, you know. When you fight every month, you cannot, because it's hard, you know. If you lose, it's a lot of pressure on you, but wrestling, it's no pressure. You go there, just wrestle, you know.
Arman's raw authenticity absolutely radiates as he dissects the current landscape of American UFC talent with surgical precision, labeling competitors like Chandler and Colby as complete disappointments. When discussing drawing power represents an exceptionally fearless statement that most professionals wouldn't risk making in public forums, but it emphasizes his broader argument about the shortage of legitimate US megastars in the organization currently. This directly affects how the UFC constructs its marquee events like UFC 300 and those colossal pay-per-view spectacles, and it perfectly explains why someone like Justin Gaethje, despite being a veteran presence who's been competing forever, remains absolutely essential to the company's success. He's the reliable attraction who fills arenas and convinces fans to purchase pay-per-view events consistently. This framework is essential for grasping the genuine significance of the Gaethje vs Topuria battle, and why it represents such a colossal event, and why Arman's preparedness as a replacement isn't solely about his personal career advancement, but about the UFC's tactical preparation for their premier events, and maintaining their lightweight division's appeal.
And you need the USA, especially it's hard to pick like USA fighters right now, because not a lot of superstars from US. John Jones is gone. Chandler, he's trash can. Who else? Colby, trash can.
Sean O'Malley.
Sean O'Malley, good.
Yeah.
He's there.
Yeah.
Who else?
Kayla Harrison injured.
Yeah, she's injured.
Yeah. There's not a lot.
It's just Gaethje. That's why they put Gaethje there. And yeah, Sean O'Malley.
Wholly incredible. If Ilia Topuria successfully captures this victory, he's going to transform into an absolutely massive celebrity on a completely unprecedented scale. This is where the fighter's self-assurance truly energizes the discussion and reveals his genuine assessment of his standing within this weight class. He passionately believes that his potential showdown with Ilia Topuria isn't merely a significant bout that audiences would eagerly anticipate, but legitimately represents one of the most enormous fights the UFC could possibly create currently across any division. His emphasis on both competitors being youthful athletes, operating in their absolute peak years, highlights the generational importance of such a confrontation for the sport's destiny. This transcends simple championship hardware and who gets to claim it. It's about a watershed moment for the complete lightweight division, a genuine transition of power from the veteran establishment, or an epic battle for unquestioned dominance among the emerging generation. His forecast of an evenly divided fan base regarding who they'd support only magnifies the anticipation surrounding this potential encounter, indicating a matchup so perfectly balanced that it would guarantee an immediate masterpiece that enthusiasts would discuss for decades. This genuinely represents the collision that everyone in the mixed martial arts universe desperately wants to witness.
Problem gonna have my fans with UFC. Me, I'll stay out of the problem.
There's no one else. It's one of the biggest fights the UFC can do. You versus Ilya, if he wins, and I think he's gonna win. It's a gigantic fight.
Yeah, can imagine me versus Ilya on the White House. Everybody gonna talk about that fight.
White House, no White House.
Yeah.
Who cares? Put it anywhere. Put it in Madrid.
Yeah, great fight. Because we are both on young and on our prime, and like 50% gonna think I'm gonna win, 50%.
Arman's viewpoint on Ilia Topuria potentially ascending to welterweight to pursue a groundbreaking third championship demonstrates surprisingly sophisticated reasoning and reveals genuine tactical awareness. He views it as a completely intelligent commercial decision for Ilia to generate substantial income even if he suffers defeat in that welterweight encounter, which represents a fascinating perspective to consider. But the ultimate achievement, as Armand emphasizes with absolute certainty, remains the legendary status and historical importance that accompanies securing 3 championship belts spanning multiple weight divisions, an accomplishment that nobody has ever achieved in UFC history previously. This demonstrates Armand's profound comprehension of the extended legacy competition that elite competitors engage in beyond simple victories and defeats. While he might desire to battle Ilia immediately and secure that enormous payday and recognition, he acknowledges the ambition and potential rewards for Topuria in advancing to a higher weight class, which paradoxically could postpone their inevitable confrontation for months or potentially longer, especially if Ilia discovers genuine success in the heavier division and chooses to remain there permanently.
I think if it's gonna be smart for him to move up and make a lot of money. And even if he loses to Islam, people say, "Oh, you know, he take the chance to fight for the 3rd belt." And can imagine if he beat Islam, he's gonna be a legend in this sport. You know, 3 belts. No one done it before.
But that means if you would
advance there and achieve victory, then you won't get the opportunity to face him. This represents a direct challenge from Arman to the complete lightweight division and everyone observing. He's not simply discussing being a contender or someone who merits an opportunity eventually. He's proclaiming himself the future ruler of the lightweight division and the upcoming champion. His irritation with veterans like Gaethje and Oliveira continuously receiving title shot chances isn't merely pride or youthful overconfidence speaking. It's a sincere conviction supported by his performances that the environment requires fresh talent at the absolute summit, competing for championships. This perspective perfectly captures his determination and ambition to replace the established hierarchy that's maintained dominance for years. If the UFC genuinely wants to introduce a new epoch for the lightweight division and develop new superstars, Arman views himself as the undeniable ruler waiting backstage, prepared to overthrow anyone who blocks his path, including the potential victor of Gaethje versus Topuria, regardless of who that ultimately becomes. His aspiration and self-confidence are absolutely tangible in every statement he delivers.
Our division is gonna change soon, so and the king is gonna be me, and we're gonna have the big new names that coming up, you know, because the old I don't know why they give these old guys chances.
Also, Arman's conversation about a potential wrestling encounter with Colby Covington, who represents a fellow active UFC competitor in a separate weight class, unveils a crucial understanding of his personal brand and the UFC's developing position on external projects for their contracted fighters. He believes the UFC should definitely permit it to occur, referencing the different weight classes they compete within, and Colby no longer being contender caliber as his primary justifications why it's logical. This isn't solely about generating simple income on the side without sustaining real damage. It's about Arman's strategic intellect continuously operating to develop his career. He's expanding his profile and name awareness, remaining active and in the public spotlight, and challenging himself in various competitive settings, all while managing the risks to his MMA career intelligently. It also reveals a confidence approaching contempt towards Covington's capabilities, which only intensifies the excitement for his primary UFC objectives and what he's genuinely capable of when he receives his title shot opportunity.
To be honest, I don't know what's going on. If UFC let us do this, would be great, because we fight in the different weights. I fight in 155, he fights in 170, so, and we're never gonna fight each other. And right now he's not on that level, even like contender anymore. He's just a regular fighter.
Arman demonstrates absolutely merciless assessment here in this portion, reinforcing his evaluation of Colby Covington's abilities and his current career position. He creates an image of Colby as an effortless financial opportunity for a wrestling match, essentially challenging him as less of a serious grappler and more of a fitness enthusiast who consumes alcohol daily and isn't genuinely training like an elite competitor anymore. This isn't simply promotional talk for media attention or attempting to create headlines. It's Arman displaying his supreme confidence in his wrestling abilities, a talent he knows will be absolutely essential against strikers like Gaethje or Topuria when he secures his title shot. It also subtly reinforces his conviction that these side wrestling competitions are genuinely minimal risk activities that won't compromise his MMA career. Such a powerful statement against a notable UFC personality like Covington certainly maintains attention on Arman and develops his story as a dominant presence who's prepared for anyone. Excellent, very excellent evaluation of the circumstances. Did Colby inform you what he considered like, "Hey Arman, I'm not pleased about what you stated"?
So has a name and he can talk a lot, so we can bring a lot of eyes and make it something big. And it's easy money for me, you know. I just go there, wrestle with a bodybuilder, and now I'm gonna wrestle with Colby. It's like the beer guy, drinking beer every day and doing extra exercises during the night, never train. So easy money for me.
Are you or your team going
to request the UFC if they'll permit you to do this? This conversation clarifies the character of Arman's relationship with the UFC leadership and how they perceive his outside pursuits. It's cooperative and established on mutual respect. His declaration that if they advised me I shouldn't wrestle, I'm not going to wrestle, shows his ultimate dedication to the organization that compensates him and provides him opportunities. The reality that they haven't instructed him to cease doing these wrestling matches represents a massive endorsement from the UFC, indicating that his wrestling activities aren't viewed as a distraction from his MMA career, but possibly as an intelligent method to keep him active, competitive, and in the spotlight until his next major UFC opportunity materializes. It means the UFC trusts him completely to manage his career responsibly and make sound decisions, knowing his ultimate objective is their lightweight title and building towards that goal. This mutual understanding and respect is essential for his career, as he awaits for the Gaethje versus Topuria situation to develop and see where he fits in next.
with you? You need to do this. None of that stuff.
No. But if they told me I shouldn't wrestle, they just gonna call me and tell me. But they let me do this, I'll do it. You know, if they gonna say, Arman, you shouldn't wrestle anymore, I'm not gonna wrestle, because my main thing is you.
Arman's direct evaluation of Max Holloway being finished already, and not that Max anymore that ruled the featherweight division, represents a striking perspective from a current contender who observes these battles closely. While it's certainly a severe judgment to make about a legend of the sport, it reflects the ruthless reality of elite MMA and Arman's critical analytical perspective. He's not simply concentrated on his own journey and his own preparation. He's constantly assessing everyone at the summit of the sport and identifying vulnerabilities. His logic, based specifically on Holloway's most recent fight performance, shows a fighter who doesn't soften criticism, even when discussing legends who have achieved incredible accomplishments in their careers. This type of brutal honesty provides genuine insight into Arman's mentality and how he approaches competition. He identifies weaknesses in everyone and is prepared to exploit them, whether it's in his own lightweight division or simply observing other weight classes and how fighters perform.
Yeah, Max is done already. He's just going make money and then retire.
You think he's finished?
Yeah, he's not that Max anymore.
Okay. What makes you say that? Because in his
He
last fight,
so bad with.
yeah.
This segment perfectly demonstrates why Arman Tsarukyan represents such a threatening presence in the lightweight division, and why strikers should be concerned about him. His amazement at Max Holloway displaying absolutely zero wrestling attempts against Charles Oliveira reveals volumes about his own confidence in his grappling and the significance he assigns to maintaining a comprehensive skill set. He carefully examines how Oliveira, who is primarily recognized as a BJJ expert off his back, was capable of taking Holloway down like he was conducting a seminar in wrestling and top control. This isn't simply a critique for criticism's sake, it's a tactical interpretation of the fight that demonstrates his fight intelligence. Arman is emphasizing a fundamental vulnerability in pure strikers that he, a top-level wrestler with an elite ground game, would ruthlessly capitalize on given the chance. This analysis confirms that against strikers like Gaethje or even Topuria who prefer to maintain it standing, Arman's wrestling could be the decisive trump card and advantage, making him an absolute nightmare matchup for anyone who doesn't possess elite takedown defense.
I was surprised how you cannot wrestle, like zero wrestling. You've been in this sport like 20 years and like you cannot even like defend takedown from Charles Oliveira. Charles Oliveira has no takedowns. He has good like jiu-jitsu, but like wrestling, I've never seen him wrestle very well. But he cut him down like he was like a masterclass, you know, from wrestling from Charles.
Yeah.
And I believed he went to develop his skills for 2 or 3 years and then return. This compelling speech from Arman isn't simply boasting or promoting himself for no purpose. It's a defiant declaration of his undeniable ascent through the lightweight rankings that nobody can dispute when you examine the evidence. He systematically details his climb up the ladder, breaking it down phase by phase. I was top 15 in the division, then I defeated the guy ranked number 14, then I defeated the guy ranked number 1, which was Charles Oliveira, a former champion. This isn't hypothetical future strategizing. This is his actual performance record of achievements, culminating in his commanding performance and victory over Charles Oliveira that established his position at the absolute summit of the division. It's a clear message to the UFC matchmakers, to Gaethje, to Topuria, and to every other contender in the weight class. He's earned his position through victories, demonstrated his worth against the best fighters in the world, and is now unquestionably ready for that title shot he's been working towards. This relentless advancement through the rankings is exactly why he feels undervalued by the UFC, and why he demands to be the next person competing for that championship belt.
Bro, I was beating everybody. Like, what do you mean? I was top 15, I beat top 14. I was top 14, I beat top 13. I was top 13, I beat top 10. I was top 10, I beat top 5. I was top 5, I beat top...
Expanding on his earlier frustration about the same competitors receiving opportunities, Armand here expresses a clear vision for what the lightweight division requires moving forward, which is new personalities getting a genuine opportunity to prove themselves at the highest level. He's promoting a complete transformation of the division, suggesting that fighters ascending the rankings like himself deserve to challenge the established top 5 fighters more regularly, instead of the identical matchups occurring repeatedly. This isn't solely about his own career progression and obtaining what he feels he deserves. It's a broader commentary on the UFC's matchmaking approach and how they develop contenders. For fans watching at home, this message connects deeply because everyone wants to witness fresh matchups and new champions emerge to maintain excitement. It positions Arman firmly at the forefront of this new wave of fighters, showing he's prepared to face anyone in that top 5, including the current elite like Gaethje and Topuria, to genuinely revolutionize the names at the summit of the division and introduce a new era.
Yeah, but we need new names like the new names coming up and give them chance, you know, like for example from top 10, top 15, someone who just got there, give them a chance to fight with top 5 and like maybe switch the names.
Absolutely, like you. It's about time already. This final glimpse into Arman's perspective is absolutely captivating and demonstrates a level of understanding most fighters don't possess. He openly declares that he wants to become a star before I fight for the title, which represents a distinctive viewpoint. This isn't solely about winning fights and securing that belt around your waist. It's about legacy, drawing power, and maximizing the impact of that title fight when it occurs. He understands that a title fight is monumental for any fighter's career, but a title fight with massive fan engagement and pay-per-view purchases is what creates legends that are remembered eternally. His objective to bring numerous eyes to his fights and surprise the UFC leadership with his popularity growth in the US market shows a fighter who is not just technically exceptional inside the cage, but also incredibly business intelligent outside of it. This strategic approach to developing his career, combining elite performance with relentless self-promotion and staying active in the public eye, ensures that whether he ends up replacing Gaethje or Topuria as a backup or fights the winner later, Arman Tsarukyan will be an undeniable force in the lightweight division that the UFC can build around for years to come.
I wanna become a star before I fight for the title and bring so much eyes they're gonna be shocked that people love me in US.
I feel like you're there already. I think you've done it.